All right, guys. And like I told you, a lot of videos coming at you today. This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest. And this might be one of my more unpopular videos. I made a post about Keanu Tanuvasa, just the videos about Keanu Tanuvasa transferring. I made a post about Keanu Tanuvasa transferring yesterday, and it got a lot of hate. It feels like nobody agreed with my opinion. That's okay, though, because I remember a few years ago when I gave an opinion on a guy named Andy Ludwig and said he wasn't very good. Many media people disagreed with me and were throwing shade my way like I was some sort of idiot. Well, I've learned in my life and in making this channel that you can't really give a damn what other people think. And if you have a strong conviction about something, you should stand by it. So that's what I'm doing. Keanu Tanuvasa is transferring out of Utah. We're going to talk about what it means and what type of impact this will have on the team right now and moving forward. If you guys appreciate the content, smash that like button. That'll help get it out to more Utah fans. Also, comment down below. What do you guys think? How big of an impact is Keanu Tanuvasa leaving the program? It definitely has an impact, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Also, like I said, guys, little early Christmas gift for you. I've been out of town a lot, so I'm going to be decking the halls with videos today. Uh, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you're already subscribed. Just that way you guys will get all the notifications. If you're not wanting to watch every video today, I totally get it. I don't expect these videos to get a ton of views, just being honest, just because it's going to be so much freaking content. But if you are a football nerd like me, a Utah football nerd, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, because there will be a lot of content today. I've already braced my wife on how often I'm going to be in front of the computer today. So she agreed. This is my Christmas present, I guess. But let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about Keanu Tanuvasa transferring out of Utah. Okay, guys, and here is Keanu Tanuvasa's PFF profile. Now, I'm going to give my final thoughts at the end of the video, but this is impactful. Keanu Tanuvasa was a good player for us, and I think he was tracking to be a very good player. But I'm going to give you, hopefully some of you guys that might be on the ledge and really pissed off about this might come down a little. And, some of you guys that I don't think there's anyone that doesn't think this is somewhat significant, but it is somewhat significant. But I'd also say, I hope I can take this video to maybe make it so you guys aren't freaking out, right? Keanu Tanuvasa was a good player, but not this. Some people are acting. I've seen a lot of posts about him being the best player on the team. That's a little rich. So let's just dive in. I'm not going to push it off anymore. So these are his PFF grades, guys. This is last year. In the latter part of the season, a 68.2 grade, a 56.5 grades. Those are below average to bad grades. He had some really good grades. TCU, Southern Utah. I don't think you love that is one of his best grade of the season, Southern Utah. I mean, you expect him to do well there. TCU's only other really good grade. He has an above average against Utah State, but then slightly below average on Arizona, Oklahoma State, BYU, Colorado are both below average to bad. I am aware that he was dealing with some injuries, so I'm not, taking those at complete face value. But overall, the grade was a 68.5 last year. And we move down here and show his grade year by year: 66.8, 56.2, 68.5. And last year, guys, he had a 56.2 on 552 snaps. 56.2 is below average to bad. This past year, he really looked like he was coming on. Couldn't stay on the field, but looked like he was coming on, but it's not an elite grade. A 68.5 is an above average to good grade. It means he's a solid above average to good starter. That's what that means. And that's anyone that thinks that's, confrontational or provocative, pay attention, dude. I don't know what else to tell you guys. If that pisses you off that I'm, underplaying Keanu Tanuvasa leaving, well, good for you. You don't have to watch my videos. You don't have to listen to my takes. This is really my take. I'm not doing this to be provocative. I'm really trying to give you guys my insight. But now we're going to look at his numbers and we're going to talk about the good and the bad, okay? Because he's, like I said last year, he was not a bad player. He was an above average to good player, but he was not even close to being the best player on the team. All right, so taking a look here, guys. Keanu Tanuvasa, his missed tackle percentage last year, so if he had the opportunity to make a tackle, his missed tackle percentage was 31.8%. That is awful. 31.8% means you are missing 1 out of 3 tackles. That is terrible. 31 out of 100 tackles you were missing, right? That is a very rough look. And that's, you can see his tackle grade here is a 29.3. Now, a little more on the positive side, his stop numbers here are really good. He played 973 snaps, so one that gives us a big sample size of Keanu Tanuvasa. It's not like this is a guy that we didn't get a good sample size of, but his stop numbers, a 29, that's a very good stop number. And last year he had 12 stops on a little over 300 snaps. It's very impressive. But then going back to the missed tackles, you see here 15.4% missed tackle percentage. He had a good stop number last year, not as drastic compared to the amount of snaps he had, but it was 2% of the plays he was on the field would result in a stop. That's a very good number. But then we look here, guys. He had 20 hurries. He had 20 hurries and 973 snaps, and of those, we are looking at 604 pass rush snaps. So 20 divided by 604. So when he was in on a pass rush, he could get a hurry 3.3% of the time, which a little more context on that. I believe that would be 1 out of 30, right? 1 out of 30 pass rush snaps is when he would get a little less than 1 out of 30, he would get a hurry on or a pressure, however you want to look at that. And in my book, that's not a good number. It's not, it's not dog crap, but it's not a good number. Just being real about it, guys. Just being real about it. So is what it is there. He had 4 sacks, 32 total pressures throughout his time, 8 quarterback hits, 4 sacks. So, well, I guess the better number to look at, just looking at the data here, would be 32 divided by 604. So 5% of the time. So not dreadful, but not good either, right? 5% of his pass rush snaps, he'd get a hurry. So should give you some context there, guys. That's kind of how I feel. I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on Keanu Tanuvasa, but there's good, I'm going to give final thoughts in a second. I don't want to jump ahead. So let's go ahead and dive in. We'll give the final thoughts now. I did just want to give a little more context on this, guys. So for Utah's defensive interior room, like I said, Keanu Tanuvasa, 5.3%. He was third out of 4 guys that had at least 100 pass rush snaps. And then we go ahead and expand this, right? Junior Tafuna was 7.3, so a significant amount higher. Now, I know a lot of people think Junior Tafuna is the greatest of all time, but let's go ahead and go not just Utah. So these are all people that had at least 100 pass rush snaps. And you know what we'll even do, guys, is we will narrow it down to Power 5, okay? So we will only look at Power 5 teams. So this will be very, very precise with players that are going against good talent, and they all had at least 100 pass rush snaps. Where would Keanu Tanuvasa rank among P4 pass rushers with 100 pass rush snaps? So he would be tied for 126th with 5.3% win rate. Now, 126, there's a lot of pass rushers in P4 football. That's not terrible, but anyone acting like we just lost God's next coming, just giving you some context. I would love Keanu Tanuvasa to stay. I'm going to give the final thoughts in a minute, but just take it in some context, guys. Don't act like this was the worst thing to ever happen to Utah football. All right, final thoughts coming up. Okay, guys, and in closing, I think what we're moving towards in college football is a much more NFL model, right? And in the NFL, I've followed it for a long time. I've been a Jets fan for so long that I really do follow it very closely. What you do is you get your players in and you let them develop and you let them grow, and your good players, you label above average to good, and then you label your great to elite. You're above average to good, you try to keep them. But if someone else in the free agent market wants to pay them crazy money, then you let them go. You gotta, because it's not worth it. I know it's a salary cap in the NFL. It's not the same thing, but at the end of the day, this is what we're running into right now. So they probably offered Keanu Tanuvasa above average player to good player money. That Utah did. And then USC and Michigan said, hey, we will offer you, these are all rumors, it's all conjecture. I don't know anything. USC and Michigan said, we're going to offer you great to elite money. And good for Keanu. Like, just so you guys know, you guys that are freaking out about him leaving, so weird. So weird. Like yelling at him. He probably got offered a huge amount of money, an amount of money that you or I have not been offered in our lives. And for you to judge him, like he could get, knock on wood, could break his leg tomorrow, never get to play football again. That's how the world works. And if someone is willing to pay him crazy amounts of money to go play football for them, he absolutely should take it. Just so we're on the same page. No ill will towards Keanu Tanuvasa. But he is not a great to elite player yet. And I don't think Utah's in a position where we can be projecting players to be great to elite. Like the NFL model, you sign guys that are great to elite. Keanu Tanuvasa, off the information we just went over, has not proven that. He's proven to be above average to good. And I think we probably made the right call, not paying him a crazy amount of money. I'd also tell you guys, we lost a good player. We did. We lost a good player in Keanu Tanuvasa, but do not lose any sleep over this. This will not have a significant impact on our defense next year, in my opinion. And our NIL money is going towards the offense. Do you guys want to know why the NIL money is going towards the offense? Because we got our new coordinator and we're going to do everything we possibly can to give him the guys he wants. And I think that's the right mindset. I think that's what we should be doing. And I think you guys maybe chill out a little bit with all the hate about, seriously, anyone like Calhoun, Tanuvasa, whoever it is. If you guys are freaking out at them for taking the money, that really is odd. Just so you guys know, like these are guys young men that are getting offered a ton of money, and they need to do what's best for them. If they value their relationship with Utah and the culture in Utah that much that they're willing to pass up the money, good for them. But if it was me, just being real, and someone offered, we don't know what these numbers are. I really don't know what the numbers are, but I would imagine the difference in Utah's offer and Michigan/USC's offers is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would imagine the difference, like if Utah's offering 100,000, maybe USC and Michigan are offering 250 to 300, something like that. And that makes sense for him to go do. Like if you guys put 300,000 in an index fund and just let it sit there for the next 40 years, you're going to be in a very good position. So in closing, it's not going to kill Utah. Do not hate on Keanu Tanuvasa. He's got to do what's best for him. And I wish him nothing but the best. All the guys that leave for money, I wish them nothing but the best. I do think we're running into a weird thing in college football where, I think we're all looking at it as like, oh, this sucks. They're just taking our guys. But it's like, I mean, go tell that to New Mexico. Like we're getting picked off from the guys that have the really big money, and we have really good money. And we're just taking all the guys from the G5, and then the guys with the big money are taking a bunch of guys from us. I mean, this is the landscape of college football. Something's gotta break eventually. I don't know the solution. This is the reality we're living in now. So that's kind of my thoughts, guys. Smash the like button, comment down below. What do you guys think about it? Am I underselling Keanu Tanuvasa's value? Maybe a little bit. I'll give you that. Am I being more realistic about it? Am I saying like, hey guys, like don't freak out? I mean, that's kind of my opinion is we've lost above average to good player, not a superstar of our defense like people are making it out to be. So comment below. I want to hear what you're thinking. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am out of here. Go Utes.